Hey everybody, Kat here, and I just realized I thought I was recording, and I'm not. So, that sucks. Let's redo this intro, where I'm somewhere weird because look at that. I cannot disturb the cutie. She's being all sweet and nappy. And I can't even blame her for waking me up today because I had an appointment for somebody to come and look at the heating at the house, so I had to get up early anyway. Well, I say early, but I still got to sleep in compared to when I have to go to work. So, as the title suggests, we're going to do an unhaul, which is going to tick off some people, considering some of the books that are in there. And then we're going to end on a happy, well, at least hopeful note with my baby haul. And since I'm anticipating this being a long video, I got my drink. It's cold, so I've got my Hocus Pocus sweatshirt and some hot tea. It is strawberry vanilla. And no, this isn't a bookish mug, but all my Harry Potter mugs are way too big unless I want to make very weak or like 3 cups in one. So, yeah, if I do that, I'm going to be doing a lot of restarting this video to go to the bathroom. I don't know about y'all, but if I drink tea, I'm done for. So, maybe I will show y'all my tea collection one day if y'all are curious about that, even though that's probably going to take some folks off because I'm an American girl and yeah, coffee just does not do it for me. Like, it has to be already flavored and then like half a cup of flavored creamer and sugar. So, it's just not even coffee at that point. And I don't have a kettle, so I just microwave my cup of water and put my nice tea bag in there. But, yep. Shall we get into the, unhauling portion where I needed to make a little bit of room on my, as y'all have seen, overflowing like TBR bookcase that eventually I'm going to get through that and do some rereads of some stuff that I read a while ago that I know I've read it, but I can't remember if I like it or not. And then we'll rearrange and work them into the actual bookshelves that might also have some TBR stuff that just got stuck there when I first moved to this house and got taken out of the TBR box. So I'm pretty sure I have some horror in there that I have never read. And not just the Dean Koontz ones where I couldn't remember which is which. But that's another problem for another day in another video, right? So we will jump into these that are, some of these are kind of messed up books because, well, I got them all used anyways. And then my TBR bookcase is in my kitchen slash dining room. So it gets a little humid in there sometimes. The temperature ain't the greatest, but we got Charmed, which I think this was the second one in this series, and it's by Jen Calonita, and it is good. Like, I really enjoyed the first one enough that I went and got the second one, and it's an interesting theory. Well, anyway, basically we have villains running a, you know, child school going, hey, y'all have gotten in trouble, and we used to be evil, so we know what it's like, and we got our act together, so we're gonna help you get your act together, and you're not allowed to leave until you do. Good in theory, right? And it's not bad, but it read as too young for me, and y'all know I love me a good, like, YA novel. Like, I'm a Harry Potter fan, I read a lot of retellings, that, which totally makes sense with, like, the skulls and the bats on the wall, and as y'all can see, another one of my permanent Halloween tables that is also my make the house smell good table because that has my wax warmer that is, well, not on at the moment. Otherwise, you'd see the nice color changing roses that makes the house smell all floral and sweet when it's cold out. But this one it didn't quite do it for me. I think if I was younger, this would have been like, oh my god, 5 stars, so much fun. Read the next series. I read it once, I liked it, not gonna read it again. Don't have enough space to be keeping books that I'll probably not read again, so it's gonna go to the used bookstore for credit next time I go to the bookstore. Or maybe the library in town for their next book sale, whichever I get to first. Because the local library could use some help. It's got a lot of romance and westerns. Not my genres. Not a lot of stuff that I do like to read. So, maybe I can give them some actually good books for folks that aren't into westerns. And then one that I really didn't like, which, to be fair, I think this was just overhyped. This was recommended to me by Christopher Moore, the man. Yup. I freaking love him. I own everything he's ever written. I have read it all multiple times. So when he tells me a book is good and a nice filler for like between his books, because they usually take about 3 years to come out, the bar is up here. This was like here. And it just, yeah, poor guy. He is never going to live up to expectations for me. But if you like, satire and Florida man trope, this is for you. And actually, I have a second novel by him that also should be on this list, but it wasn't on my TBR bookcase, which is what I was cleaning out. It's on the bookcase. Because I got this one and Nature Girl. And the best part I liked about Nature Girl was when the chick, took, whacked her husband in the junk, ex-husband, because he deserved it. And as a girl, I can't not laugh when a guy gets kicked or any other injury there. It just makes me laugh because, haha, finally y'all have a pain that I don't. It's only fair. And I might be a little vicious. And then we have this, which I got it because it has a story by Angie Fox, and I freaking love her. She has a ghost series, and the one that I found her initially for is a Demon Hunter series with a talking Jack Russell Terrier. And I love it. It is the best freaking thing ever. But this is some hardcore, smutty romance stuff. I'm not into the smut, and I'm really not into the romance. I prefer it to be like a accidental like background subplot and lots of snark. And yes, I did like her story in this. It was more heavy on the snark, but I'm not gonna keep it for one short story that I'm pretty sure I can get elsewhere. And I think I actually do have that short story on my Kindle, or I can get it for like 99 cents as just hers without the other ones. So this is gonna go bye-bye. And then we have a book that I really, it made me mad. A Drop of Red by Chris Marie Green. Like, look at this. It looks like it should be badass. It's about freaking like vampire hunters. And then they hunt down the vampires and go, well, I guess the book's over now. We've been talking about how we gotta find them and take them out because they're killing people. And we spend 300 pages trying to find them. And then we find them and some other bad guys and go, well, it's not what we thought. We caught them. We're not gonna do anything with them, but we caught them and the book's over. Maybe read the next book in the series. Okay, you're trying to do a cliffhanger, but really, you set all this up to find the vampires and execute them, and as soon as you find them, you're just, well, we're not gonna see what we're gonna do with them. We found them. Bye. Book's over. It says it's a bloody good time on the back. That was not a bloody good time. And even the lead up at times kind of ticked me off. So, yeah, this is a full blown, I'm mad at it. This is one of the few books that I went on a rant about when I reviewed this when I was first starting out my channel 2 years ago. So, if you want to know my feelings on this, yeah, you're gonna have to look at one of my earlier videos and just watch me get angry for several minutes. As well as the next book, which was a really big letdown because it's Lincoln Child and The Third Gate. I love Lincoln Child. He's freaking awesome. And I have 2 books of his in this Unhaul stack. And it wasn't so much that it was actually bad, but it talked up, we're gonna go to Egypt and we're exploring, and we found this like ancient hidden area, and there's all this like ghosty stuff because it's part of the Logan, what's his face? Jeremy Logan series, where he's an enigmologist. Basically, yeah, ghosts and stuff are real, and you think this is going on, and here's what's really up. Like, you're not going crazy, and this is really happening. And so, there's supposed to be like ghosts and curses because, well, duh, it's Egypt and they found like a tomb. That sounds awesome, right? We don't get much of that. It's mostly just the people and, well, actually, it's just like it's like, is it really this or is it that sketchy guy over there or that sketchy one that we're pretty sure is robbing us and trying to fake this to scare people so it's easier for them to like grave rob? Like, what? No. You built up this whole stuff, and I trusted you because I've read like 80 of your books and loved them. The individual ones, not the ones that he does co-authored with Douglas Preston as the Pittergast series, which the first like 17 are amazing if you haven't read them. You built me up and you let me down, buddy. That's how far I got into this one. Yeah. Again, I snatched it up just because it said Lincoln Child, and dude, death match. That sounds so cool. And in reality, it's hey, you're going on a matchmaker thing, and we're gonna match you up with these people. But then the happy couples weren't actually happy, and that's like, oh my gosh, this is like, ahead of its time of AIs, and these happy couples are offing themselves because they're not really happy because they were bad matches. And like I thought it was gonna be more like sneaky with it, but yeah, I got, how many pages in did I get? I only got 32 pages in, but yeah, that was still, that's my 10%. If you don't have my interest in 10%, I'm done. And it did not get my interest at all. So it's going bye bye. Another one. It looks so cool. I mean, come on now. The Scent of Shadows. We got demons going on there. It's supposedly like Charlaine Harris claims that this is really good. We got a Kim Harrison nod. And I mean, I know these can be bought. That's reality, but I've never heard of Diana Gabaldon, but I assume she's somebody I need to check out. This again, it had a really interesting premise, but it was slow and it did not do it for me. Like, there was too much build up, too much drama, and for some folks, they freaking love that. I mean, this is a whole series. The publishers kept going with it because people kept buying it. So, for some, it is really good. But it's basically like we have these teams of people that are like Zodiac and they have to fight like, the dark side, which is the demons and whatnot. And somebody has been brought into this after she has been assaulted and kind of left for dead and has to take somebody's place, and the team is not happy about that. She is not happy about that. Was not didn't know about all this till she was thrown into it and dang near assaulted and killed again. And it has potential, but like the pacing and the drama just, no, not for me. And then where I start making people angry, Holly Black. She is supposed to be awesome. Again, this is one that I got from a coworker because, yeah, she ordered some stuff. They sent her the wrong order and went, oops, sorry, well, we messed up. You can keep it, do what you want with it, and then we'll send you your proper stuff. And some of these did have potential. This is just a book of short stories. And they were actually, like, pretty good, but you can tell they're short stories. Like, we're building up to something. And then it's over. Like, these should be, like, teasers for, hey, which of my books do you want to read? Here's, like, the first, like, 2 chapters. Go get it. Except for none of these have been expanded into actual books. And I'm not going to read something that leaves me going, hey, where's the rest of the book? Multiple times. So, yeah, they were very interesting, but I want more and there will never be more, so it's just a rude tease. And then again, these came from the same other ones, and Well, I think this is the first one. Ooh, I see a little man booty. Are you creeping up on me? Yeah, you creeping on me. Okay, I'm ducking the little man booty. He got to get all snugglies. And these just, they're very young age. I've seen a lot of these. Everyone's like, oh my god, the Cruel Prince. I see that all over BookTube and people linking from their, book talks and like, it's the best book ever. I could not freaking get into these. I liked, the premise, and dude, these are beautiful. I wish I loved them because I'd love to keep them on my shelves and go, look at this, it's so pretty. And I mean, it's fairies and magic and calls it a modern fairy tale with the really cool spelling. If I all can see that, maybe. Yeah. Like, it's good when they use the weird spelling of fairy. But this was just too young and just, it didn't click for me. I wanted it to, but maybe these will go to somebody who will enjoy them because apparently there are a crap ton of people that absolutely love these. They were very, like, average for me. And then another one that I was disappointed. Like, I liked this book, don't get me wrong. I did actually enjoy it. It's Small Favors by Aaron A. Craig. It's a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. But I will probably never read this again. It was set in like old settlers' time and a lot of family drama. And it's good, but I go for books that are, that's not really my preferred setting. There wasn't enough of a nod to Rumpelstiltskin, and a lot of it made me mad. Because, yeah, like, I can feel this character. She was dealing with all the family drama and the backstabbings. And I don't want to read a book that makes me mad because I want to off the characters because they're buttheads and they deserve it. It takes too long for them to get, what's coming to them in any sort of a way. So, like, I need to be happy. When I hate one of the characters and they seem like they're getting away with stuff for way too long, then it puts me in a bad mood, and I don't want to be in a bad mood. If like getting angry at the characters, like they're really well written. That's why I don't like that I like it. Cause I'm like, ooh, I'm getting into this, and I'm getting mad at him. Whoop his butt, throw him in the woods, something. He needs some severe punishment for his behavior. And he wasn't getting it. He was, well, he's my twin, and he was getting away with crap, and I wanted to beat him, and I was in a bad mood. So I'm not gonna read it again. So somebody else who can be mad and go, okay, no, on to something else, be happy. Like, nah, I need my escapes to happy. So sad, because that's another one that I heard of from Allie, who I will link her down below. She's awesome. I was like, yay, because we both, we like our fairy tales, and she nodded that because, like, oh, hey, I read one other book by Aaron A. Craig this year, and it was awesome, and I'm waiting for the sequel, and we both really liked that one, but maybe next time. And also, hey, we also agreed on the Holly Black of we tried and we could not get into that, so we making people angry. We're supposed to be loving that, and we were not. And then y'all might have seen my rant on this one. Wrong Side of Dead by Kelly Metting. Again, the premise, so freaking amazing. In reality, it's half flashback, but not enough flashback to make sense of what you missed. And the editing is what really killed it for me. We killed a character and then we brought him back. We knew what a character was, like we've got shifters and zombies and vampires and all the good stuff that makes an awesome freaking movie. Or, well, book that could be a movie. So we know this dude's a shifter, and then 100 pages later, I heard really cool things about this guy. I wonder what he is. He's the guy that saved your butt by transforming at the beginning of the book when you was about to get off by your buddy. That ain't your buddy no more, because he went from human to vampire. Like, what? No. You must have the editing that bad that you forget who your characters are within 100 pages. No. So that's going away. And then this, I'm almost sad because that cover is just gorgeous. And it does have a lot of potential, but again, it was too young-ish for me. Because, I mean, dude, Alice in Zombie Land. You can't tell me that is not a freaking amazing title. And, I mean, look at that cover. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's like little skulls in here on the decorations. You've got all our, like, little card suits. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. But it is a young adult. So, yeah, which normally I love, but it got too heavy into the drama of being a teenager and having your first crush and having the clicks and the crush is not working or being super intense to not, because basically what this comes down to is yeah, daddy knows about zombies and family thinks that he's yeah, all right, we need to get him some help. Zombies are not real. Daddy's gone a little nutso. And then they they go off to go see their let the little girl do her recital as birthday present from Alice begging, because they don't go out after dark because that's when the zombies are, and little girl's recital is of course after dark. So begged and pleaded and played the guilt card of, hey, it's her birthday, she really wants to do this, I really want to see her, we're gonna go, there's a car accident, she's the only one that survives and finds out that Daddy was not crazy all along. Zombies are real. She saw them. And spends the rest of the book training of, okay, what do I do? How do I fight these things that, like, killed my family and could take out others because they're evil? They're zombies. And gets hooked up with a guy that turns out to, he can train her. But then there's drama with the, ex and her going, you don't fit in. We don't want you here. And some backstabbing and there is just too much high school drama, and I ain't in high school anymore. At times I miss it. Life was so much easier. But if you're YA, this is awesome. Like, you can relate to some of this. Plus, you get zombies, which is awesome. But it's not for me anymore. And then, again, I'm sad to put this one on here because it had a really cool premise and it was recommended to me by one of my favorite booktubers, Matthew, the man with the hat who reads. But it's The Radleys by Matt Haig. And it is really interesting. Like, I love me some vampires and like I love the little nod with the blood on the white picket fence. And it's basically we got suburban vampires. Like, they've managed to go out in the day so long as they like stay in the shade and covered and like a bottle of sunscreen a day. But it's basically it's like, all right, so mommy and daddy know they're vampires. The kids don't know. They just think they have like some kind of like sun disease or something and are trying to get by until, oops, one of the kids snaps and acts vampire but doesn't know that she's a vampire because the parents have been trying to keep it a secret from them. Hence we have a disease. We're just always weak because we're vampires who don't drink blood. And the daughter has gone, I can't remember if it's vegetarian or straight up vegan, but well, I gotta be healthy and I'm a girl and this is the thing right now. Because, high school girl, you gotta do what you gotta do to fit in and be skinny because, oh no, that, like, life will be horrible otherwise. You'll be picked on and lots of influences from everywhere. So she's going with that. And some stupid boy tries her and she snaps and taps into her vampire powers. And then they're trying to cover it up. But in reality, it was very much tame. And I love the new concept, but I want my vampires bloody and violent. I want a nice gothic, mysterious, like I started off vampires as Interview with the Vampire, like Grandma didn't know what it was, but somebody had given her a box of books. I was spending the summer with her. Here you go, read this. Lestat. Like, that is my vampire from when I was 13, and I am not 13 anymore. So, like, I'm the Anne Rice vampires kind of girl, and this is more Twilight-ish, but without the bleh romance. So, yeah. And as far as I know, we don't have any werewolves. We just have vampires and drama. But if you like monsters, but tame, like more of an urban fantasy suburbia, this is for you. For me, it's not gruesome enough. So, yeah, those are the bye-byes. But now we're going to get into some hopefully really good ones. Jim Butcher. This is another one of the, oh fudge, what series was that? Dresden Files. It's even book 1 that I found. So, it's Stormfront. I'm assuming, oh, a scene on Sci-Fi? What? I just noticed that. I guess they made a series of it at some point. So, hey, if I can find that, because I got rid of my cable and I just have streaming services because there's only like 4 shows that I watched and most of those are not there anymore, so not worth the cable bill. But I'm trying to do like a book to, screen adaptation, so hey, if I can find it, I can compare this because I've read one other book and a short story in this series, and I really liked both. So, I have a coworker that friggin' loves Jim Butcher and Clive Cussler, and so far he's been right because I've liked both of those, except for the one Clive Cussler I tried to read way back in the day that I've been informed was by far his worst one. And I've also noticed from the one that I did like, they start really slow, and I don't have the patience for that. I really didn't have the patience for that in high school, so I'm gonna trust him. And then we have one I've never heard of, Greg Loomis's The Sinai Secret. That just looks like a fun, like, historical mystery action pack thing, which if y'all been following me for a while, y'all already know, like, that's one of my things. I love James Rollins. I don't have to know anything about it. I see his name, I am buying it. I might need to go on a budget, but that hardback is getting pre-ordered because it's James Rollins, and yeah, like, he does all the action packs, save the world, yeah, travel all over the world, gun battles, blow stuff up, just good old time. With some a little like Indiana Jones mystery thrown in of being brought into the current times and some like James Bondy, like, cool tech stuff. And this seems like it was gonna kind of be one of those. This is a scientist in Amsterdam murdered. Another scientist in Atlanta, woo, murdered, and his journal stolen. At first, Lang Riley seemed to be the only connection. After all, both scientists worked for his foundation. But when someone took a shot at Lang to scare him away, it only made him more determined to find the truth. Lang's search will lead him along a twisted trail to Brussels, Cairo, Vienna, Tel Aviv, and deep into the secrets of the past. What's the connection between the murdered scientist and an ancient parchment recently unearthed? What revelations does it contain? And what powerful group is willing to kill to make sure its secrets remain hidden? Like, I'm hoping it lives up to this because that sounds really freaking fun. And then another one I've never heard of, Pulse by Jeremy Robinson. It even has a little, hey, you should read this by James Rollins. A roller coaster ride of suspense. So, I mean, dude, we got some Hydra stuff going on. It's recommended by James Rollins. I had to give this one a try, so I snatched this one up from my favorite used bookstore. It says, buried in the Peruvian desert, sealed beneath Greek inscribed stone, lies a legendary relic which may hold the key to life itself. By extracting its DNA, Richard Ridley of Manifold Genetics hopes to bioengineer the ultimate weapon, an army of soldiers who regenerate and continue to fight without stopping. hence Hydra, the perfect killing machines. Enter Special Forces Commander Jack King Sigler and his chess team of highly trained operators. Under the President's orders, they must intercept Ridley's genetic terrorists and stop the unstoppable, using all the firepower at their command. But even the chess team is no match for a legend that refuses to die. An enemy that can't be killed. Try to tell me that don't sound like a good time if it lives up to it. Like, I don't know who this is, but they might be a contender for new favorites if they can live up to that. And then we've got The Mask of Atreyu by A.J. Hartley. Another one that I have never heard of, but looked like a good time. Seems they should all be along the same vein because I found them in the same area of the action adventure at my bookstore. A secret room in an obscure museum has become the final resting place of its proprietor, whose dead body lies surrounded by an astonishing collection of Greek antiques, a treasure once looted from the Nazis. Hopefully it's not too heavy on the Nazis like a book I already unhauled to a coworker with a fair warning, though he says he's enjoying it, so we'll see. The Face of Death, a priceless Mycenaean death mask, has been taken, along with the bones of a legendary hero thought to exist only in ancient myth. An unholy grail of extraordinary power. The theft draws museum curator Deborah Miller to a terrifying web of murder, mystery, and devastating retribution by those whose dreams of glory remain undefeated. So this is like the least interesting of the three by the sounds of it, but I'm still curious. And then I have one that I was actually recommended from BookTube, and I can't remember who because it was literally a comment from somebody else on a video that I was commenting on. Yeah, that was going, "Hey, if you love this movie, read this book," and it's usually Disney kind of movies. Going, "Hey, is this your favorite princess? These have similar vibes," and I believe that is Bridget. I will link her down below. And it was somebody in the comments went, "Oh yeah, this cheap." So it is Eon. Which, oops, I just realized, hey, yay, this is the first one. I was like, dang it, I got it backwards, because after this one is Iana, which I'm guessing is when, the full Mulan thing kicks in and goes, oh yeah, I'm actually a girl, hence adding the A, which is usually feminine. So, it's a fantasy. It looks kind of chunky. Is it just thick? So it's 531 pages, but it does have kind of big-ish print. But, so this is a little intimidating, but I do love me some Mulan, and you can't tell me that doesn't look beautiful. I mean, it's a fire dragon. Fire. Dragon. Two things I love. And Mulan vibes, so it's by Allison Goodman. I've never heard of her, but I'm excited to give this one a try at some point. So, dude, it's Mulan. That's one of my top princesses. So, and she doesn't get a lot of love. Her and Merida, they get gypped. And then another one that I swear I did not intentionally stack these up. I was just going by size. But a Hero Born that also has Asiatic vibes because so I have no idea. It looked really cool. I've never heard of it, and it's the first in the series. But we have ancient China and samurais, which I find very fascinating. I don't read much of it because it tends to be a little bit more, okay, I need to follow this, and I have trouble pronouncing the names, which means they get blurred in my head, and it becomes a very different story when you can't keep the characters straight. So I'm gonna try because it's hardback, but I did not get hardback price for this. I love my store. They have $6 hardbacks if you grab them from the right shelf. So For $6, I will give this one a try. Like, we even, like, look at those. It even starts off beautiful. We've got a samurai warrior. This is, after his father, a devoted patriot of the Song Empire, is murdered, Xiao Jing and his mother flee to the plains to join Genghis Khan and his people. Dude, Genghis Khan he might be a bad guy, but he's freaking fascinating. His mission? To learn everything he can from the warlord whose name will become legend, whose army will someday restore China's glory. But what Xiao does not know is that he's destined to battle an opponent who will challenge him in every way, one with a connection to his past that no one could have possibly imagined. With the help and guidance of the 7 heroes of the South, he will return to China to face his foe and fulfill his destiny. You can't say that don't sound like a good time if I can actually, like, keep it straight in my head. So, yeah, I don't know when I'm going to read these because, oh my goodness. But those are now as part of the TBR bookcase to be gotten to at some point. So, which one are you excited about? Which one do you think I really shouldn't have unhauled? Or, yeah, is there something like, yeah, go ahead and unhaul that one now I've read it? And no. Drop a line, let me know, and I will see you soon. Bye. Happy reading.